Send out my tweets and get everything set up properly. Oh, and I probably should walk on screen too. That would probably be good. So, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is July 29th, and this is the July 29th TextQuest Devstream. So, today, since it's the weekend, we are going to be continuing with our custom content creation stuff. And hopefully the audio will not cut out today like it did on Thursday, which was very, very infuriating. Oh, hold on. Now I'm going to be super touchy about my audio cutting out, so I need to adjust my headset and... Okay, I'm going to be super making sure. I'm never going to be sure now if my audio cuts out or not. Last Thursday, not last Thursday, this previous Thursday, I guess my audio flickered for a couple of seconds, and I assumed it was just a weird mic issue, but then it actually affected the video, and now I'm super paranoid whenever anything seems like it's off on my mic. So hopefully it won't actually break again. If it does, just let me know, I guess. In any case, so again, we're going to be working on our custom map stuff today. We're going to start off fairly easily. I'm actually going to check something because I got some warnings going on here, and I don't know why. Interesting. Splash delay has an issue? Huh. That's cool. Let me see here. Splash fade. Which comes up to here. And maybe it's doing none. Who knows? Well, either way. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know why these blank is not. Let's see, splash delay 56. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we're gonna start off like we usually do on these days with some minor bug fixes, and then we'll move on to the actual content. So let's see, it's at 56. Load game. So hooray, it's nested. So 56, splash delay 32. Splash delay 32. Okay, level is equal to session.getStringInfo, session level. Okay. Oh, okay, I get it. It's just looking at an empty session and saying that there was nothing there. That's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and, before I do anything else, I am going to go ahead and go to Unity TextQuest. I'm going to go to my build, and I'm just going to nuke my save files here. Alright. So, the first thing that I think we're going to take a look at, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to fix it today, is the lag spike that we hit whenever we start going into custom text-based adventures. So we're going to go through here. Go to extras, and I'm going to go to author mode. Now, as soon as I hit create, I'm going to wiggle the mouse around back and forth like this, and you'll see that it freezes for a little bit. So that probably about a second, maybe. And what that lag is loading these individual files, and that's because in order to actually load information like the title, the creator, and then the image that's associated with it, assuming there is one, is being done for each possible item in this list, and it's parsing the entirety of the save file. Now, it's not actually doing anything with that; it's just loading it into a JSON object in memory. But it seems like whatever is happening is intensive enough that it's causing lag. So that's not great. And that is something that I would like to mitigate. So I'm going to go ahead and stop playing. I already have the script pulled up. Splash delay. And the culprit is in classic games list. So in this list, we have a simple call called refresh list, and that just generates the buttons that we can click on to load into each game. Now, when each button is created, we request it from the pool, and then we're going to create a JSON blob from a specific file that's being looked at. And in our case, if we go over here to custom, these are the two files that we're working with. I'm actually going to get rid of that's work. So the name of the game, .ctpa for custom text-based adventure. We can Notepad to see what everything looks like. So it has to parse all of this information, which is actually another thing that I guess we're going to fix today. So these massive arrays that you're seeing here are connections, but there should not be this many connections. There's only 2 connections in the entire map right now, which means that it's getting duplicates basically. And you can see that we have index 0, color RGBA, 1111. It's all 1111. It's all the same information, so it's just duplicate save stuff. So, cutting that down would potentially help, but that's kind of not the main issue. It's not the main issue that there's a bunch of duplicate array elements in here. That's a factor, but it's certainly not the thing causing the lag spike. Because in theory, even if all of this was perfectly working, if you had enough custom text-based adventures, then you would still get a lag spike. So we're gonna have to come up with some cleaner way, I guess, to actually get this information loaded. And what's the main thing is we don't actually need most of this information. We don't need things like author connections. We don't need things like author node positions. We don't even need things like variables or settings or game data. The only thing we really care about is this, game info. So it's actually interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the best way to grab just this chunk would be. Because if we could just grab this chunk of information, that would cut down on loading dramatically. Because this chunk of JSON right here contains all of the relevant information that gets displayed in the select view. So it gives you the name of the game, it gives you the creator, it gives you the description, and it gives you information on what type of game it is and the background image. So all of that is there. Hello, Apollo. Welcome back. It's Saturday, so we're doing the custom text-based adventure stuff. Also, let me know if my audio cuts out at any time during the stream, because that happened on Thursday, and no one told me. I had no idea, and it was a 3-hour stream, and I feel terrible because of it. So, how are you doing? In any case, so we're going to do a couple of sort of optimizations today. I guess, I wonder if I can change how this is being done. We might take a look at our JSON stuff very lightly to see if we can speed this up. So let's go to JSON object. JSON object. All right. So I wonder actually if this would be, well, I'd rather not, I guess, get into the parsing stuff on the stream, just because that is going to be a rabbit hole, and it is very easy to get locked down in there. So instead, I guess we'll move over to trying to solve this duplicate save issue, because we're getting way more save states than we need. And I'm actually pretty sure that we're getting duplicates every single time we log in, so this list just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So that's going to be a problem. We're going to have to fix that. So I guess let's go to custom game author session. Custom game author. If I could spell author. There we go. All right. Text space is going well. Just waiting for some more games to download. Treat myself each Saturday to a new game or 4. That's perfectly fair. Friday is my my relaxing day where I get to just goof off and do whatever I want. So I understand taking a day for that. All right, let's see here. Custom game author session, custom game session. Okay, so we're gonna want to go to save, and the affected areas are author connections, and I guess that's it. Although it looks like, this is weird, we have another node with an ID of 12? Huh. But that's not actually listed in our game data. That's interesting. So it looks like we have some weird extra node positions that don't actually exist. So we'll have to come up with a way to clear those out. All right, let's go back to custom game author session. I'm going to come down here to JSON. This is where we actually turn everything into a JSON blob to save out. So Micro Machines, Crash Bandicoot, Avian Colony, and Valley. Nice. There's a Micro Machines game that's new though. I didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, I knew that I knew Crash Bandicoot got a remaster, and I know. Huh. I didn't know Micro Machines had a new game out recently. And Twitch has decided not to refresh for me. Oh boy, this is great. Not at all scary. I can't see Twitch on my browser window for some reason. It's just a solid white window. Oh good, it's back. Sorry, I get super paranoid whenever I can't see my stream through the Twitch page, because then I'm just like, well, my stream's probably dead. Huh. That's pretty cool, though. Is it just like a standard racing game? Or is it... I remember back in the GameCube era, there was a Hot Wheels game on the GameCube. And it wasn't the best game ever, but it was surprisingly entertaining as a kid. So I assume it's something like that, where it's kind of like sort of freestyle racing, but I don't know. And anyway, so we need to record all of our positions. So let's see here, positions.add new key. Now, for positions, I suppose we could say, so this is what it's going to do. It's going to be adding, so these are the positions that it's adding. I suppose I could check to make sure that it doesn't already contain a position with a set ID, because you can't have the same ID in two different positions. These IDs are unique. They are one node gets one unique ID. So let's go. So let's see here. We're gonna debug this. Oh right, yeah. See, this is why it's so freaking weird. So room positions are a dictionary. Maybe I could keep. No, I guess that doesn't make sense. I'm not entirely sure how it has a. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet that when we load this stuff in, it doesn't get cleared out if it doesn't exist. So it probably just has this remnant of ID 12 left over from where it was at some point. So that's great, which means I probably need to do a from or a to JSON check here somewhere. Let me go all the way up to the top here. We have room positions, room connections. I'm going to go to custom game session, pull this over. Do I have a list of rooms? I have a list of room backgrounds. But I don't have a list of total rooms? Huh. Oh, no, it's in room info. There we go. Okay. So I suppose I could probably pull it from there. So that's peak definition. Yeah, room ID there. So what if we do something like this? Scroll back down here to the bottom. So instead of a for each loop here for positions, I'm also going to comment these things out, or comment these things so I can see them. Room node positions, not positions, positions, map positions, and this is for connections, room connections. All right, so instead of a for each loop that goes through the room positions.keys, which is, by the way, I have to say, I hate doing this for freaking dictionaries. How you can't retrieve individual keys in an array form. It has to be done in this weird for each format. So instead of that, what if we did for int I equals 0, I is less than room info dot count I plus plus, and then we'll say if not node keys, if room positions dot contains key room info of I dot ID. So if it's contained there, then we will actually allow it to be populated in the JSON blob. So we're going to start doing stuff like that. Grab you. And I suppose for safety's sake, I will keep this new key check. That is going to have to be equal to room info of I dot ID. All right. And if it contains that, then, oh, and I guess I want to say, yeah, okay. Then we're going to do all this fun stuff. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, never mind. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Although in this case, I wonder if I can just do this. Get a little bit more efficient here. There's no reason for me to declare a new JSON object and then continue after doing so. So I should declare the new JSON object after the continue check. And then we're just going to do all this fun stuff. All right. So this new version of the loop will hopefully be, one, a little bit more performant because it's not a for each loop, but also maybe it will fix our problem. Because now it shouldn't be possible for us to have a room position that doesn't actually have an associated room, because we're getting all of our IDs from our room info. So that might help with that. Let's see. So after that, we're going to have to go through connections, and this is where it's going to be kind of crazy. So room connection group info. Let's take a look at this stuff. So this is where we're getting the duplicates. So index of 0. Yeah, I guess that's all it really needs. These connections, so this is kind of one of the frustrating points of working with the connections and the data stuff. Connections are pointless. They don't carry any information besides their color. They're purely for organizational purposes. I'm not saying I want to get rid of them or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's no data associated with them. And for me to add complexity by having unique IDs for them is kind of pointless, because you never need to retrieve a connection for anything. So this gets super weird, because I'm not entirely sure how to check for this. I mean, I could say that I could use the index as a unique ID, because you can't have more than one value at a given index. That's not how it works. But I guess we can try that. So let's see here. What if we do node keys.clear? Node keys.clear. Okay. Oh, I guess that wouldn't really matter. So we have to go to roomconnections.toJSON. Go to definition. Connection JSON is an array. Connection list. So there we go. So we have to do the check here. Okay. So we're going to say list int connection, or I guess used connections. Used connections is equal to new list int blah blah blah. Then we're going to say if not used connections dot contains connections of I dot index. Oh, crud. Connections is a, yep. I forgot about that, because of course I did. So give me a second here. We are actually going to go to definition here. And connected room ID is not, wait, hold on a second. Target ID and angle. What is going on here? That is not a thing. Ah, there it is. Right, so I have nested things called connections. because I am a smart person who does not label things confusingly. So we actually want it in this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and drag this over. We're going to go ahead and get rid of you. I'm going to take you out here, save. We're going to go back here, and we're going to do a new list declaration here. Okay, so now we can say if not used connections dot contains connections of I dot I or index. Okay. And we'll say used connections dot add connections of I dot index. Crud. I actually don't know. That could be problematic. No. It should be fine. Okay. I was a little worried for a second there that it might be confusing if I have two index 0 connections going from two different nodes to a single node, but I think this will be fine. So this should hopefully fix that duplicate problem. So let's go ahead and save this out. I don't need to do node keys.clear anymore. All right. Let's give this a try. So we're going to load up our save state for the Zork test game, and what should happen is we should see this list of connections basically plummet down to just one element in the list, and it should be correct. So let's go ahead and try that out. I have no idea if it'll actually do that, but well, it should do that, given the code changes that we just did. If it doesn't, then we're going to have a different weird problem that we have to try to figure out. Let's go to extras, author mode, create. So yeah, you can, I guess you didn't notice it because the lag is one of those weird things where you can't really tell it unless you're playing it yourself. But the lag was much shorter this time because we got rid of one whole save file. So it was probably only like a quarter of a second, if that. So we're going to come up here, and now we got a little bit of a lag there. Let's go up to the map. I don't know if it'll save. There we go. So it automatically saved, and it's all correct, too. So, yep, we don't have any extra positions. We don't have massive lists of connections that don't exist anymore. Okay. So that's turning out pretty well. The next thing I want to focus on is fixing this indexing issue with our arrows. Oh, wait, no, that even kind of fixed them? Okay. Interesting. I wonder if we quit and came back, if they would be correct. So you can see that our arrows are not stacked on top of each other anymore, because they should be more appropriately spaced out based on the amount of connections that they have. It still might be a little awkward just because I'm sure that when it was creating those connections, some of this stuff got lost. Oh yeah, it's going to save every time I move it. That's right. So let's quit, and then let's stop playing and then replay to see if it will actually correctly position them. This is interesting. So if you've been watching the stream for a while, you'll notice that, or you'll know that I've had problems with unloading or stopping playing, I guess. And that is happening right now, which is weird because my previous theory was that it was unloading a bunch of substances, but I don't think it could have. Well, I guess it could have done that. I might have actually set it up to preload the first level's substances if you don't have a save file already in there. So it might be unloading all of the castle's save files. Whatever. All right, let's go ahead and clear all this stuff out. Try playing it again. And if we get a perfectly set up arrow situation, I will be very happy. If not, it could just mean that my algorithm I'm using to act. Oh, no, not new game. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. Okay, I guess maybe I'm just using a poorly done arrow positioning algorithm. Because I mean, they're always correct. Oh, actually, we might get some. Yeah, we might get. It's possible to get really weird ones like that. But on the whole, it's correct most of the time. So I'm probably fine with this. If it really bugs me, which I mean, it will eventually really bug me. But I'm not too worried about it for now. So I'll come back at some point and figure out the why the arrows aren't pointing to the centers like they should. But we also have a small weird options issue. So for some reason, it's not quite saving what my option value should be. So I'm going to set that to like a darker green, hit confirm, and then save. So now this is what it should look like. And if we quit out, stop playing, let's go to make a new thing here so we can look at it. All right, so I'm going to go back to TextQuest, and then we're going to go to settings, custom game settings. So you can see that our start node color is this darker green now. It's this almost 0.4 in the green. And the default color for that is pure green, so 0, 1, 0, 1 for our RGBA values. And when we load back in, what it should do is it should read this stuff in and then have it be correct, but I think it's defaulting to its default color, which either means that it's not loading before it saves its values out, or it's not parsing this correctly. So let's go ahead and replay, and I'll show you what I mean. When we get back to the custom map, you'll see that the starting node is bright green. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back. How are you today? Oh yeah, and thank you for pointing out that the audio did cut out on the last video. I didn't realize that. I don't know what happened there. I think OBS just freaked out for like a quarter of a second, and it just lost my microphone, so it stopped recording me. But it was weird because I could hear my microphone in my headset, which I interpreted to mean that it was fine, but I guess OBS just lost that tracking. So now I'm super paranoid whenever I hear or don't hear anything, because I assume that my audio will freak out. And I don't know why, but audio has been the most problematic thing for streams for me. So author mode, create, let's go to map. So you can see that it's this bright green now. And then if we come back up to options, you'll see that it's 100% green. So we're going to fix that real quick. Let's go ahead and save that out. Let's quit and then stop playing. And then we are going to go to, I believe, what did he say? Scorpio pointed out that my previous stream on Thursday, I had a weird mic problem 7 minutes in that cut off audio for the rest of the 3-hour stream, audio-wise, and I didn't realize it, which is very annoying because it was a pretty good episode. So of course Twitch was like, nah, we just gotta ruin that for you. So take that as it. Oh, and my cat just fell off of her sleeping perch. All right. Let's see here. So we're gonna go to my save stuff. Here we go. We want. Am I on mute? What do you mean, is he on mute? You're freaking me out, Apollo. Am I on mute? Is my audio messed up? Oh no, I'm panicking. Okay. Let me know if my audio's on mute, because if so, then... Don't do that. Don't do that. That freaks me out. Seriously, I've had the audio cut out on my streams probably half a dozen times, and I have no way of knowing, because it still sounds correct in my headset, and I can't really, arbitrarily come over to Twitch and unmute it like that, because if I do that every like 5 minutes, it's gonna be terrible. Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things. I wish I had some way of hearing something on my desktop that you guys can't hear. And I think I can do that, but it would require a very complicated audio setup that would not really be that great. Uh, I suppose a solution would be a weird. Well, actually, you know what? No, I don't even know if looking at the mixer in OBS would actually be an accurate determination for that, because I could totally see that OBS would pick up the sound but not actually be transmitting it for some weird reason. Or who knows, maybe it was a weird hiccup with the audio codec, so audio was being recorded by OBS, but it wasn't being transmitted correctly to Twitch. I don't know. It could have been any number of things. Like Scotty said, the more fancy the plumbing, the easier it is to gum up the works. So, in any case, let me see. We want to go to our custom game settings, I believe. Yeah, here we are. And so let's see here. Load, save. Maybe I should make these private instead. So I think what it's doing right now is I'm just doing direct references. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to actually do this. We're going to have private, wow, completely not typing correctly. Private static bool equals false. So this is going to be a sort of old school way around this problem. And we're just going to make all of these private. And then we're going to have public getters that are that will initialize all of these values if they have not already been initialized. So let's go ahead and we're going to say at the end of this, initialized is equal to true. All right. And yes, this should all be fine, I think. See, and the reason that I think it's not loading, or the reason I don't think it's loading from the save file is because if it was a parsing error, this color would be white, not green. So I don't really know why it's such a weird color. In any case, so let's go ahead and we're going to say, come up here, we're going to say public static and color start node color. Oh, I mean, yeah, don't worry about being late, Scorpio. I mean, I hardly start right on the hour that my streams are supposed to start on, which is kind of unprofessional of me, and I really should do better at doing that. Return. We're just going to say start node color. All right. And then we'll say if not initialized, load. Okay. And that's all we're going to do for basically all of our color accessors. We're just going to have a bunch of sort of duplicate stuff that are all doing the same thing more or less, but are slightly different. Default node color. So the goal for today, I think, is going to be to finish up the color stuff. So getting the map background and all that to actually work with our color system. And then we'll see how much time we have left after that. I don't anticipate that taking way too long, but then again, every time I say that, it takes like 5 hours. So, all right. Now we should probably have some errors. Yep. So we're just going to make this start node color there, default node color there, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and go back here, let it compile, see if we get any errors. Da, 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 da. Oh, there it is. And do I need to make them getters or setters too? I probably do. I do. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to do set color is equal to value. Simple as that. We'll just paste that in after each one. Of course, we gotta make sure that they're the correct values. Okay. Let's go ahead and save that out. Oh, come on. Are you serious? What file has multiple line ending types in it? Really? Huh. That's weird. How does this have Mac OS X line endings in it? Whatever. Apparently it did. Let's go back here to custom options view. All right, so now we're just going to replace these with capitals. End node color and default map and map. All right. Let that compile, and I need to blow my nose real quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Didn't want to be sniffling while I'm on the air. Let's go back here. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. Just replace everything with the capital, so it's using the getter. Interesting. Why are you angry? Oh, right. That won't work. Harumph. Okay. So you can't modify colors through getters like this, or you can't modify individual colors, values through getters. That's why it's freaking out here. It's really going to suck is when band practice starts next week. I miss the majority of the streams. Wow, you guys practice late. I remember. Oh, thank you for whoever followed. I do not know who it is. I guess I could look, probably. Let's see if it loads. Thank you, Ziriun. So I can look at my actual dashboard, but it's not nearly as exciting as having it pop up on screen for you guys. So, in any case. So, this is going to be fun. I don't want to make new colors. Boo. Wait, does it show up for you guys? Weird, I never notice it. Maybe it does. Okay. I'll have to come back and watch this and see if it pops up in the top left corner. Either way. So, I probably need to do like a new color here, don't I? Boo. Boo, boo, boo. That's not really that fun. Okay. So, let's go ahead and we're going to say... Fine, we'll just do new color. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. I really wish I could define my own custom constructors for colors, just so that I could conveniently do things like this, where I could pass a color in and then pass an alpha value in and then get a new color back with the RGB colors of the color and then the alpha color that I passed in, but I guess not. So now I have to do individual RGB assumptions. .r. Gotta do that all for the stuff. B and G, and then start node alpha image, not fill amount. So that is what is necessary for my colors, and I do not like having to do that massive statement there. But I guess I don't really have much of a choice. So let's go ahead. We're going to copy this, paste this in, copy this in. Grab this, paste, paste, and paste, and then we can get rid of this and get rid of you. So let's see here. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 6 to 8:30, and then September we start comps. Huh. 6 to 8:30. Well, I guess that's better than what my band did. When I had band practice, it was like 10 a.m. to 2 or 3 p.m., something like that. Nah, maybe it was noon. Might have been like noon to 2, noon to 3. Yeah, it was middle of the day for us during band camp, which I guess makes sense during the summer. But then again, maybe they don't want to pull people from working anymore. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna do. Paste that in. Grab this stuff. Get that. Get rid of that, and we're almost there. It's just taking an eternity because I really, really don't like doing it this way. All right. Alpha image. All right. Doop. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. One more. One more is all it's going to take. Oops. Fill this stuff in. Background image. Oh, come on. This all sorted out, and there we go. So now all that should actually be correct. Oh yeah, and I have, since last Saturday, I do have an alpha slider now on my color picker, and I also have the alpha appropriately working for the color settings. It's still compiling. After November, though, I'll be able to make a lot more. Yeah. Well, I mean, don't worry about it. And at least there's Saturdays. That shouldn't be too terrible for the stream times. And who knows? Maybe my streams will go 3 hours long. I don't know. All right, so let's give this a try to see how everything looks. I guess something to keep in mind, though, is the next couple of weeks are going to be kind of sporadic for me. Because next Saturday I'm going to be, well, next weekend I'm going to be in St. Louis, which means I won't be streaming. And I probably won't stream next Thursday. And the weekend after that is, I don't know, I guess I do have a free weekend after that. And the weekend after that is Gen Con, I believe. And then September gets kind of weird because I have a convention I'm going to, and then October goes directly into Unite, which is down in Austin, so I wouldn't be streaming then. So it's going to be weird. The next couple of months are going to be kind of weird. Okay, so let's go ahead and set some save stuff up. So 100, hit confirm. We'll save it out, and then let's quit. Now we're going to try again and see if it actually functions as expected. Oh, and I guess while we're here, okay. So again, that is correct. And we have the required, like, why does it take so long for it to stop playing? It just drives me nuts. I just wish I knew what caused it. Because it can't be substances right now. Or I guess it could be if they're loaded into memory. Let me try something. Splash delay. Let's see here. Level materials. Okay. So we build materials session. Okay. I'm gonna comment that out for building the materials ahead of time. See if that fixes it. Okay, so now our save color for our starting node is a dark green, and it should be that color when we come back in. If it is not, then we're going to stick in a debug to see what it thinks it's parsing and what it thinks its value should be. Because again, if it's not, then it means that it's not loading data. I don't think. I think well, no, I guess it could be loading data, but I don't know. We'll see. Point is that if it's still messed up, we're going to have to sort of do a step-by-step process to figure out where it breaks, or if it's going down a route that's not directly trying to load stuff. So we're going to do start, we're going to do extras, author mode, create. create Zork map. Okay, so it is still incorrect. That is interesting. And if we come back here, oh, I guess we'll, hold on, I'm going to load this file. Interesting, it's still correct. Well, in that case, that kind of makes me think that it's bypassing it completely? That doesn't make sense. Let me, okay, let's come up here to custom game options view, custom game settings. Here we are. Let's go ahead and check out load first of all. Okay. So I guess maybe it's not getting the correct JSON value. So I mean, it should just be looking for start node color, but it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and do debug.log info.toFormatted string. Okay, that will give us our JSON, the raw JSON that we're looking at, so we can determine if it's actually being loaded properly. And then after that, we'll debug start color. So debug.log, we'll do start node color plus a colon and a space, then plus start node color to string. Okay, so we should be able to see the exact values for everything now. I wonder why it's doing that. I guess, so it could be parsing, or it could be bright green because it's not finding this get string value, but again, it's right there. So I don't really know why it would do that. Read file. So freaking weird. Okay, I'm going to stick a debug in here as well. So debug.log test exist. Okay. Just making sure. Maybe it was looking at the wrong place. So, and I guess one more debug just to get as much debug information as possible is just going to be the path to our save file or our settings file. That way we can definitely be sure that it's not incorrect. All right, so now we should actually be able to go in there and make sure that it's all correct. I believe in you, Unity. There we go. Okay. Okay, skip through all this stuff. Start, extras, author mode. We're going to create. Let's go to Zork, and we're going to go to map. Okay. Well, it's still bright green. Let's see. So we're seeing, this is the path. It's on our D drive, game development, Unity, TextQuest, build, TextQuest assets, then back up one, down to settings, TextQuest custom game settings, .text. That's correct. It says that it exists. What? Wait, hold on. Something's wrong here. What the heck? Ah, there it is. It's because I was stupid. Like 90% of the problems, it's because I was pointing at the save file, or the regular game settings file, not the custom game settings file. Ah, jeez. I can't believe myself. Sometimes I just... Yep. I love it. Okay, so hopefully that will actually work. So everything's actually saved out. So now the next time we play, and this is really interesting, by the way, it's still taking forever for it to stop playing. So something else is causing it. What is doing it? It has to be... Does it have something to do with the custom game? I don't know what. Given its reaction, it's almost like it just has to unload a bunch of stuff, but it's taking it forever to do so. So I don't know what would cause that. It's very strange. Either way. So let's go ahead and clear that. And now we'll hopefully be able to actually get something useful. All right. Skip through our intro. Start. Extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Aha! It's correct this time. So if we come in here to options, it should be at 100. Yep. And there we go. So now that's actually loading, which is good. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and hit cancel here. I still wish I could figure out what our problem is with these buttons, like why they're not fading. Actually kind of curious. So let's go to UI, view container, custom game map, root, toolbar, buttons, new room button. Let's come up here. It's not a navigation issue, is it? I mean, they're both interactable. Oh, I wonder. Hold on. Nope. Okay, well, I don't actually know what would cause this problem then. That is super awkward. Huh. It's weird that play works, but new room and all of them don't. I guess it's a minor issue for now, but it is still kind of a usability issue. I don't know why they wouldn't highlight. Especially when every other... Well, I guess that one doesn't highlight. Now does it? Wait, hold on. Ah, there it is. It's because the background image was just black. Ah, okay. So we can fix that real quick. And in addition to that, I would also like to come up here. Let's go to our modals, color picker, root, buttons, modal button. And I believe it's targeting. Same thing with this. Okay, so it's just because it's not. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we can change those buttons as well. So we're going to do a couple of prefab changes real quick. Well, I say quickly because the prefab changes themselves will be really quickly, but stopping playing Unity is kind of more of a very, very long, drawn-out, arbitrary process. So that'll take us like 5 minutes. And then we'll actually be able to adjust things. Let's see. But while that's happening, I guess I could look at some code. And I can get rid of these debugs because we don't need them anymore. All right. Is there anything else I need to do? No, not really. So let's see, make sure that these are all correct. Settings, directory, path, custom settings. Okay, so that's all right. And okay, so custom game settings is now loading correctly. Custom game options view is. I guess we could change some stuff real quick. So let's see here. On start node clicked. Blah 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 blah. On color selected. We do not care about this stuff. And I think we want on open. Or just open. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so this is, hey, this is going to be really, really annoying, but I have to do the new color thing again. Or I would have to, except I could just be lazy and do this. Public static color start node color no alpha. Or how about start node color RGB? I think that's fine. So we're going to say return, return, let's see, new color, start node color dot R, start node color dot G, start node color dot B, and then 1F. Okay. Why are you, what? Oh, I didn't do the getter. Get, return. Okay, there we go. Man, I am just messing up all of my stuff today. I don't know what happened there. Ah! Okay. I have no idea why I had so much trouble getting a freaking static getter to work properly. Let's see, so end node. I'm going to do the same thing here, just replace everything. Boop. Super simple. So these will be kind of more convenience accessors, but you know, it's better than me constantly having to type out the whole new color stuff. So let's go ahead and say default node color RGB. Paste this stuff down. RGB. Oops. No, I messed up. I hit Command C or Control C instead of Control V. All right, and last one. Ah, if I could get it right. There we go. So map color, RGB, and just copy map color. Okay, so now we can actually go back here to custom game options view, and we can come over here and just say, oh, nope, I guess we can't. This won't actually change anything. So we still have to do the whole start node color image stuff. Yeah, that's all fine. All right. So I guess I was hoping we could shorten that line, but I guess we can't. Let that compile, and we should be good after that. So we should actually be able to set all that up without much issue. Oh, and I guess the thing we wanted to do was come up here, and where are you? Here we are. I want to say start node color RGB. Not RGD, RGB. RGB and RGB. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and save that out. Okay. So, assuming this all works as expected, then the next thing we're going to do is, oh, you know what I need to do? Hold on. Before we do on color selected, we're going to have to change this. Yeah. So we're going to have to say new color color.r color.g color.b 1f. Sorry, I almost forgot to make it so that when we select the color, it doesn't change the color of our, or it doesn't change the alpha of our color images. It just changes the RGB values because we have that white slider for the alpha value. So now we should be able to support a variety of alphas, and everything should look as expected. And you know what? Before we get too far, let's go ahead and go to color picker. Modal color picker, we want to go to our, where's our buttons? Modal button. Okay. Come up here, go to our background. We're going to make you white. All of that should work as expected. Okay. And let's go ahead and, while we're here, fix our button issue on the custom game map. Aspect ratios, view prefabs. Let's see, custom game map. Boop. Pull that out here. Open you up. All right, let's go to our toolbar. Buttons. I wonder if, yeah, I guess I just didn't notice it that the play button's background was white. So weird. Okay, so all that's correct, and let's go ahead and change these to be white as well. Oops. Okay. Do I want to make that? We can make that kind of a reddish, like that. That's probably fine. Not really that terrible. Okay. So let's disable the root, hit apply, delete that, turn off our UI, and save. All right, now we can actually test everything. Well, sort of. We can test everything except for map color and connection color, because those are next. Let's go ahead and type start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, and map. All right, so everything looks right. Hooray, we have highlighting now. Okay, let's go to options. Oh, that's not super great. Okay. They must have default parameters that are not really that great. Okay. So we're going to have to change that. But we can, if we wanted to, we could switch our alpha to be something like 130. If we hit confirm, you'll see that it affects the slider. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right. I need to change it so that it's not grabbing the direct color of our color image here. It should it should make a new color essentially. Okay, so let's hit cancel here. And before we do anything else, let me go to UI, modal, pick colors. I'm gonna go to color picker view. Let's see here. Options. Generate buttons. Okay. Let's go to definition here. This is under game modal. Pool manager request. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, boo. I guess that's not really ideal now, is it? Maybe I can get around this by having, let's see, I should have a button prefab here. Yeah, let's go ahead and say public color block. Okay, do I need Unity UI for that? Really? Using Unity engine.ui. Color block. Oh, I guess you do. Ugh. All right. We'll say button or default button colors. Default button colors. Go to new color block. And I can't actually pass anything there, so we're going to say tooltip. Default color config, or I guess default color values for buttons spawned without specific colors. All right. So that should let us have a little bit more control over everything. So let's go to generate buttons under options. Here we are. Set colors. So instead of set colors, I guess I'm going to say are equal to default button colors. Interesting. So I did have a default button color, but I guess this would actually be better anyway. So let's go back up here. Default button color. Are you used anywhere else? No. Okay. Let's get rid of that. So I was sort of on the right track, but I guess it's better to have the actual color block defined. Do I need to check everything? No, game modal probably doesn't have its own custom menu, so. Dang it! Of course I didn't stop playing because I just didn't do so. Ah, dang it. That would have been perfect. Because the amount of time it took probably would have been enough for it to stop playing. In any case. So, now that we have a default color block that I can set, that should make our color picker a little bit more flexible, just in terms of the buttons that it's going to use by default. That way I don't have to pass massive blocks of text whenever I want to create a button. So, let's see here. Don't think we need anything extra there. Oh, I probably should. I'm gonna put a to-do up here because it's not that important for today's stream, but I would like to make a mental note myself. Don't fade alpha of color image. So I probably need something like our fill image technique, Because if you noticed when I was sliding the colors around, it was giving us some weird effects with the color of the image because it was trying to make it transparent. All right. So let's see. Was there any other minor changes that I needed to make? I think that was pretty much it. So let's come up here to modal color picker. Right. I probably should have a header then. Gross. I hate doing headers. Let's see here. So we're going to go to game modal. Okay. So we're going to have a header. We'll see how this looks. I don't typically like to do headers. Default button colors. Okay. So what should happen here is you can see like a little header will pop up here, giving us some space. But I'm not entirely sure that I want that to actually, happen. So we might. That would be interesting. Yeah, that's something cool to do. Let's work on a quick attribute. So let's come up here to common attributes. Let's see. We're going to create a folder that we'll call dropdown property. All right, we're going to create a folder under that called editor. So we're going to make a field attribute that will basically let us specify that a property is going to be a dropdown. And I'm I'm a little concerned with how we'll get that to work, but we'll find out. So let's go ahead and say create C# script. I want to say dropdown. I'll just call it dropdown attribute. Okay. And we'll let that compile real quick before we create the editor or the drawer for it. Mostly I just want to do this so that I can collapse that color block, because otherwise there's not really any context for it. So let's go ahead and say create C# script dropdown attribute drawer. Shazam. Abracadabra. Trying to make the parser go, or the compiler go faster. I believe in you, Unity. There we go. So you just needed some faith. Let's reload all. Come back here. Drop down attribute. All right. So this is going to be a property attribute. Let's see. What do we want to have in it? I guess I don't really need anything besides the initial public drop-down attribute. So I don't really need anything extra here. I can just leave that as is. Then we're going to go to drop-down attribute drawer. Come up to here. All right. So this is going to be using Unity Editor. Then it's going to be a property drawer, custom property drawer, type of drop-down attribute. Oops. Drop-down attribute. So we'll see if I can be clever with this. I'm not sure if I can, but I will try. So my initial idea was going to be to have a constructor that you passed in the height that it was when it was expanded. But that's kind of too rigid. So instead, I'm gonna create a basic drawer that will automatically detect how many fields are below it, and then it'll appropriately size itself. So we'll see what we can get with that. So first off, we're gonna say override get property height, then override on GUI. All right. So this is gonna be fun. Let's see here. Get rid of that, and then we're going to say position dot height is equal to editor GUI utility dot single line height. Okay, and then we're going to say well, yeah, that's fine. We'll just do that. And we're going to say editor GUI dot property field position property label. Okay, and then we're going to say if property dot is expanded, then we're going to draw stuff here. And I wonder. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. Let's come up here to, I don't know where it is. It's gone. It's magic. Let's see here. I can probably close some of these scripts so I don't have them cluttering everything so much. Let's see here. I don't really need room connection, base info, and all that stuff. And I don't really need classic create view anymore, or classic create select view, I don't think. Alright, so we want game modal. So I'm going to get rid of this header here. And instead, I'm going to say, what did I call it? Drop-down attribute. Okay, so let that compile. And now, when we look at our modal, instead of having this header here, we should see a default toggle drop-down type thing. Once Unity compiles, of course. Okay, so now it's not going to actually do anything, but we do get our tooltip, and now we don't have to always have those subfields be displayed. Okay, so now that that's working, we can come over here to the attribute drawer, and this is where it's going to get kind of weird. So we're going to say, not public, private int, I guess, get field count, serialized property prop. Okay, we're going to return 1 by default. So I guess we'll actually say int field count is equal to 1. We're going to return field count at the end. And then we're going to have to do this, which is going to get weird. So we're going to say prop.get enumerator, I believe is what we want. No, I'm sorry. Next visible is what we want. And I guess what we want to do is say while prop.next visible true. Okay, and then we're going to say if prop.depth. Well, no, we don't really care about that. If prop dot name, no, I don't think we really care about that either. So we're just going to say field count +1 or plus equals 1. Sorry. Okay. I guess I could just do ++. That would work too. Okay. Now this is where it's going to get fun. I think we're going to say times property. I'm sorry, not times property. We're going to say times get field count property. And then we're going to cast that to a float. All right. So now it should dynamically detect it. Oh, and actually before we do that, I guess we'll say times property dot is expanded ? And if that's the case, then otherwise we'll just say times 1f. Are you mad because I'm not wrapping you in parentheses? I guess so. Okay, let's try this out. So it shouldn't look any different if it's not expanded. And then if it is expanded, it should actually dynamically detect them and draw them. Which actually, I guess it's not going to draw them yet, but it should be spaced correctly. Okay, so it's going to draw stuff is going to be interesting. It's going to draw stuff that I don't really know what it's going to draw, but we'll find out. Okay, so if property does expand or dot is expanded, we're going to say while property dot next visible true editor GUI. Oh, I guess we'll say property dot well, hold on. We'll just say editor GUI dot draw. Editor GUI dot draw. I'm sorry, not draw. Dot property field. I think we just say property, and then we're going to need to give it our position. So we're going to say position. Okay, and I think we're just going to say position dot y plus equals position dot height. I think that will do it. So let's see what happens here. I honestly don't know what we're going to see here. That many fields, at least from what it seemed to be indicating from the amount of space we had, is going to be interesting. Okay, so now, moment of truth. Oh, it just, okay. So default size. So it looks like we just had color multiplier and color or fade duration. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder why those aren't exposed normally. Huh. Okay. Well, some minor changes I want to make real quick. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and say next visible. Let's trying to think. Editor GUI utility dot indent amount. No. It's editor GUI dot indent level. I guess we'll say is equal to. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to get rid of you. Paste you in. Indent level is equal to property dot depth. Yes, I think that's right. That's what we want. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fudge indenting properly. Although before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and say indent level is equal to editor GUI dot indent level, and then at the very end here, we're just going to say editor GUI dot indent level is equal to indent level. That way, it's guaranteed to be the same before and after. That way, we don't get weird nesting issues. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what happens here. I also don't know if we can if there's an indent level 0 or if it's always been 1 or, well, nope, whatever. That seems to work. Although, what the heck is going on here? Default size is having its X and Y values exposed, but only when that's open. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what's doing that. I guess it's not a huge problem, but it is kind of weird. That makes me super nervous. Why would it be shown when I'm doing? What the heck? It's not loading. It's doing everything twice. Oh, I bet I know what it's doing. Okay, so it's showing everything past this this field, basically. So it's drawing everything twice. Okay, that's interesting. Great. So I suppose I need to do a check. Enter children. Property next visible. Can I? What's next? Next property. I suppose I could simply say if property dot, let's go ahead and see what we have exposed here. Array size, clear array, depth, display name, dispose, double value, duplicate command, editable, enum names, blah 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 blah. Get array element index, get in property. I wonder. Get end property might just be. Well, let's go ahead and I guess do a couple of debugs here, just to get everything sort of figured out. Debug.log, property.get end property dot name, and the name is going to be a weird string, but it should still tell us what it is eventually. We're going to say debug.log property dot path, I guess. Property path, so that we can see what everything is. And that should be good. I'm actually going to stick this debug property path in here. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I get the feeling we're going to get a lot of stuff. So we're going to have to kind of just like toggle it open, then immediately close it so that we don't get overwhelmed. Okay. So let's see here. We have default size, default button colors. Okay, interesting. Default button colors. That's super weird. Why is default size first? I'm not doing something silly again, am I? No, it's just weird. Okay, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and come back to this. Pressed color, disabled, color multiplier, fade, default size. I suppose I could do depth. Oh, well, yeah, no, that kind of makes sense. Hold on. Wow, that is super weird. Why on earth is default size being debugged there? That's so strange. Okay, then. I'm actually going to debug the property path plus a new line plus property.depth. Okay. So if I'm correct, properties with depths of 0 are top level properties. So dang it. I was gonna say I could just do a check to see if they were 0 index or 0 depth properties, but I guess that wouldn't really work because well, if I ever have nested things, it wouldn't really function. Yeah, so you can see default size is 0 as our color image and all that. But interesting. What's really weird here is this thing. So, oh right, get end property. Duh. Ah, okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, I know what we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to say serialized, not serialization mode, serialized property end prop is equal to property dot get end property. And then we're going to say if property is equal to end prop break. So we're going to break out of the loop if it is the end property. Okay. Let's go ahead and let that compile, clear it out, come back here. Wow, that totally did not work. Okay. Well, joke's on me for feeling so smart. Okay. Well, that's kind of annoying. I don't understand. How can it not be the same property? It's so clearly there. It still breaks, huh? All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fine. How about I just do property.name? So we'll make this a string instead of a property. So string end name is equal property.get and property.name. And then we'll just say if property.name is equal to end name break. Okay. And that should hopefully be a little bit more accurate. And Shazam. Aha, it worked. Dang it. Okay, well, we're sort of on the right path. So it's drawing the correct things, but now I need to get rid of the white space. Okay. So that's super weird, though, that I can't do direct property comparisons. I have to do sort of odd name checks. Whatever works, I guess. Okay, we're going to debug that. And I guess that means that I'm going to do this. So we're going to do same check here. And same check here. And fine, I will call them property, or prop instead of property. There we go. So I think that will work. Let's give that a shot. See what happens. I am hopeful. Clear that out. Come back here and pow! Ha ha ha. That's cool. So it can dynamically. Ooh. Not sure how I feel about that. I don't know why it was flickering on and off. It's kind of weird. Well, in any case, so now I can specify actual colors and have them be in a drop down instead of all just being flat against the inspector. So that's good. Let's see. I can leave that as actually just solid black with no alpha. Transition that to an alpha with, I don't know, let's say 100. That might actually be too bright, but that's probably fine for now. 25, 25, 25. 50 is good. 50, 50, and 255. Okay. Disabled color, we'll go ahead and say 50, 50, 50 as well, with, I guess, partial alpha. Well, no, let's make it darker. So we're going to say, yeah, we'll say an alpha of, I don't know, 150. Not that it matters, it's probably almost never going to be disabled. Color multiplier, I believe, is going to be 1, is what we want. And fade duration of 0.2. So all that should be good. Save that out. And now we can actually take a look at that in practice. So all that effort just to get a test case going, because that's how I roll. All right, so we're going to hit start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, and okay, come up here. What the didn't use it. Okay, maybe I didn't code it. Game modal, I guess color picker view. Refresh buttons, I think is what I want. Generate buttons, go to definition. Okay. So let's come up here, and we're going to want to go to this one. Generate buttons, go to definition. Oh, interesting. What the heck? There we go. Default button colors. That's super weird. So I had it equaling itself, then equaling that to default button color. That was weird. That should have. Well, whatever. Because I mean, we're just setting up a straight color block value here. Huh. Well, I guess we'll find out. So. Come on. Go back to Unity. All right. Let's try this one more time. Chalk that up to being kind of a weird line of code. Hit start here. We're going to go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, options. Really? Maybe I'm... Huh. Maybe it's not assigning them as expected. I guess let's. Okay. So I can get rid of you guys now. Let's go to custom game options view, and we'll say get modal open. Okay. And this is just passing. Yes, it's passing strings. Yes, for our options. So go to definition. Go to definition. Go to definition. Okay, then generate buttons. Definition. Wonderful. Maybe it's not setting them correctly. That would be super weird. Color block for this selectable object. Oh my goodness, it takes forever for it to stop playing. I wonder if it's just using the default colors. Come out here, let's go to our modal button. No, even that's not correct. So it's just not doing what it should do. Okay. Well, this is certainly strange. Okay, its background is... That's so... there it is. No, I lied. I was wrong there. Yeah, its background is the target graphic. Okay, well, as a test here, let's turn on our UI, and I'm just going to drag the button in. It looks right. Okay, well, that's super annoying then. Let's go ahead and play through to it again, and then we'll take a look at its actual values in the inspector while the game is playing. Don't know what would cause it to be white, especially since we're setting the whole color block now. So start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, and options. Okay, I'm gonna pause. Let's go to our UI, modal container, root, buttons, modal button. Interesting. Okay. I'm on to you. I'm on to you. So it was doing it. I was just being stupid, actually. So I don't actually want its normal color to not have alpha. I want its normal color to be fully opaque. Otherwise, the solid white background will just spill through. Duh. Of course, that would be a mistake I would make. One of these days I'll learn how to code and develop. I won't just roll my my head across the keyboard. Let's see. I don't really care about anything else code-wise that needs to be done for this. No? Question mark? All right. Well, that certainly makes things a lot easier, I guess. So, while we're waiting for that to come back, is there anything else I need to do? Let's take a look at our... Yeah, that's fine. We don't have anything weird in our save states anymore, which is nice. I suppose I could... Well, no. I mean, that's something for a later day. What we need to do next is actually get the map background and map connections to behave appropriately. So let's go ahead. We're going to go through all this fun stuff. Type start. I'm going to say extras, author mode, create, Zork. I'm going to say map and options. Click. Why did I start playing right away? It was a force of habit. I'm so used to making code changes. Okay, we're going to try backing out of all of this. Curious if... Oh, that's something we need to do, apparently. Just stop playing here. So let's go to our custom game. Where are you? Custom game. Or I guess it's called Classic Create View, I think. Yep, it is. All right, let's go to back, on back, clicked. On image selected, on play clicked, on settings clicked, on dictionary save, on back clicked. Here we are. We're going to say UI dot close custom game map view. Okay. Simple as that. And although I guess I probably should say, yeah, that's fine. What else would I need to do? I think that would be fine. So close should just call close on the actual object itself. So, and I'm pretty sure that this close is actually going to clean everything up automatically. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's convenient. And now we can actually make those changes that I need to make. Let's come up here. Where is my modal? One of these days I'll find it. Let's see here. Custom game map. Blah, 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 blah. Game modal button. Where are you? There you are. Modal color picker. We're going to come up here. We're going to make you alpha. There you go. Ta-da! That should fix it. Now we can actually test it. And actually, you know what? While we're in here, might as well see if we can start getting our custom game to use the correct default colors. So let's see, get node color, get connection group color. Let's go to game map view. Let's see here. I should have a connection prefab. Find all references. Come down here. Pool manager.request. Interesting. So, do I not need to refresh it, or will it automatically do so? I don't think it does. Okay. Rooms.count, connection, areas. Well, it's fine for now. We're going to need to set it up so that it actually uses the default color, but I can't remember exactly how I would want to set that. Let's go ahead and skip all this stuff. So start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. So now we can, finally, we have the correct buttons. 45 minutes later, we have buttons working. That's how good we are. Only takes most of an hour to actually get UI stuff functioning. In any case, do I need anything else here? No. So let's go ahead and cancel out of that. Let's change our connections by default to be pink. Confirm save. Right, so that unfortunately, well, I guess we wouldn't really want it to change all other colors now, would we? It should only affect new connections, not old ones, because old ones could have very deliberate color settings like this. So that's actually not terrible. Let's go ahead and create a new room. Call this one. We'll just call it the den. I was gonna call it dining room, but den is fine. Do I care for anything else? Let's add an exit to the east. Or no, I guess it would be to the west, wouldn't it? Going to the starting room. Close. Okay, so it did not use the correct color. So that's fine. We are going to go ahead and get rid of frickin' really. Okay, so I have some confirmation things to do. Let's close you. And stop playing. And here we are. So we're going to say connection. Let's look at room connection, peak definition. Connection arrow. Do I have a color? No. So I'll just be doing that here then. We're going to say connection dot connection arrow. There was an image there. Wasn't there? Something called image. Oh, it's just called connection arrow. Okay. Connection arrow dot color is equal to custom game settings dot default connection color. Okay. I guess we have a question here now. Should I loop through all connections that exist whenever you change the default connection color, and if their color matches the default connection color, set its color? Or should I only have default connection color affect new colors? Because it would... Because I could see it being annoying if you would accidentally overwrite colors that had been very deliberately chosen, but at the same time, it could also be very annoying if you wanted to change all of the colors that you've already done, and instead sort of overwrite them with a brand new color. It's not great. So, okay, we might do that, but for now, I guess we'll see what this looks like. Let's see here. Create connections. How about... Oh, geez, that becomes really complicated, doesn't it? Because I actually need to store the previous color for the connection. Well, no, not really. Well, let's just see what this looks like. So I should be able to, at the very least, create new connections that have the correct colors. Oh, except it's totally going to break, isn't it? Yep. It is, I think. Let's go to definition here. Connection, blah, 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 blah. Save custom game. Let me go ahead and say... Where are you? Don't need game modal anymore. Game map view. Okay. We're going to go to our room connection again. Go to definition. We're actually going to drag that out so I don't lose it. Let's see where connection arrow is used. Find all references. Room connection is equal to color. So that can be done on initialize. Yeah, that kind of becomes problematic now, doesn't it? Let's go to find all references, map view. There we are. So I don't think I actually want this to be here. Instead, I should probably have it go somewhere else. Initialize from the room connection. Let's find where you are coming from. Okay, good. No one uses you because no one loves you. Okay, so find all references. So this is the spot. And oof. So get node, connection index, and then the color. Problematic, isn't it? Let me think. I need to basically go to wherever I'm actually initially setting that value for the connection color. So let's find all references. Connection color is equal to white. Room exit info. Interesting. Maybe I should make this, instead of color.white, have it be equal to the default color. There's not a lot of other places that it could be, really. Let's see here. Yeah, connection color.toString, custom game map view. It's just going to use its default. Custom room view. Node.colorImage.color. Room exit node. Okay, so yeah, I think I just need to change this to say custom game settings dot default connection color. I think that will do it. So no extra work on my part, but yeah, we do run into that sweeping change problem. Should it be propagated to all connections that share the color that was the previous default color, or should I just only affect new colors or new connections from that point on? I mean, I guess it's not terrible, because at the end of the day, this is kind of it's a usability issue, but not for players, only for content creators. And I don't want to cast it off as a lesser issue necessarily, but it means that it's less of a problem in the sense that it's not going to affect everyone. It's only going to affect you personally when you're working on the game. So if it's, I don't know, I could see myself going kind of nuts because of it, but I don't know if it's enough to make me frustrated with the system itself enough to not use it. Okay, so let's go ahead and add an exit going west to the starting room. And we'll close. And you did nothing, because of course you didn't. Did I not save? Wait, hold on. No. Ah, why you do that to me? Okay, something else is setting it to white then. Who bloody Ray? I bet it's this. Hold on. So let's go ahead and delete you, I guess. Close out. Stop. All right. So this connection color stuff. Find all references. Okay, default. Or it could be get string value. Let's go to custom game room. Okay, is it just called custom room? Yep, custom room view. Okay. We're going to come up here to, let's see, exit nodes, clear exits, generate exits, refresh info. Let's see, there should be an add new exit button. There we go. Exit button is, I'm guessing, on exit clicked. Yep. Okay, exit node dot initialize. Ah, here we are. Hold on. Then it should be using the default connection color. Great. Okay. Interesting. Let me peek this. Right. Hold on. Peak definition. Info, all that fun stuff. Let's do this. No, that won't work. Okay, I'm going to go to definition here. Is equal to custom game settings dot default connection color. So let's see if that helps. Okay, come back here. Let's look at our modals real quick. I believe we want game modal, just the regular modal. Default button colors. Come on. I believe in you, Unity. You can do it. Oh. Alright. Have fun at band camp, Scorpio. Try not to march yourself to death. Hopefully that wasn't up there for too long. Sorry, I've been kind of not the best at keeping or paying attention to chat today. In any case, so let's go ahead and solid black to highlighted color of, I believe it was 100. Oops, not 1,000, just 100. And then 255. Okay, and then 50, 50, 50, and all the way up. And then 50, 50, 50, 150. Probably fine. We'll do 1.2. Okay. Do I really have anything else to do here? Let's see. What other possible things could it be? It could be load game, but I don't think that's actually a problem. All right, we're going to do the same thing, though. So, let's see. 100, 100, 100, 255. 50, 50, 50, 255. 50, 50, 150. Boop. 1.2, and that's good. All right. So that should fix the weird loading issues that we were seeing. Although I don't actually know about, hold on, custom room. Let's see, yeah, room info root. I thought so. Okay, so we're gonna have to drag this in to edit it. Open that up. Custom room, come up here. Okay, well, let's go ahead and delete that actually. We're just gonna revert you, open you up. Let's see here. So we'll delete you, and then we'll drag in the custom room. Okay. We're gonna go to our room info panel here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, maybe I don't need to do that. Huh, why would I turn you off? There has to be a reason, but I don't know what it is. I don't know why else I would reference it. Well, alright then. Let's go ahead and delete that, turn you off, save, and let's start playing again. Oh great, we had an index out of range exception. I think that was just Text Mesh Pro though. It's been kind of broken in 2017. Author, create, Zork. Come up here to map. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Add exit. Oh, and it's pink, hooray! So I mean that seems to work. So that method will function as expected, I guess. I still got to do this. I got to fix this dragging problem. Still not entirely sure why it's not one-to-one, but whatever. Okay, so that works. And oh, you know what? Now while we're in here, okay. So yeah, wanted to make sure that those work. Yes, no. We'll hit no on that. We'll close out. Okay. Right. So we have connections working. Last thing we need to do is get our. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I need to fix our room node still. So last thing we'll need to do is let's go to our let's close room exit node and close custom room view and room exit info connection as well. We'll need to go to custom game map view. We're going to go up to the very tippity top, and we're going to say we need a reference to the map background image, which I don't think we have right now. I do think we have. Well, we have custom game map. Does it have a reference? No. The custom game or the game map variable here is, I believe, just our sort of draggable area. But I probably could add a reference to that. Well, once Unity stops playing, I'll be able to actually look at the prefabs. There we go. Okay. So we'll look at our custom game map. Let's look at our. Let's go ahead and enable our UI and just drag custom game map in here. Open this up. Hit UI. Let's see here. Map background. Map area. So I guess it's just the map background itself that's gray. And this is the thing that we would want to adjust colors for. So let's hit Control-Z. Let's go ahead and do 100, 100, 100. Make it a nice even number. Okay. And that, I believe, is 0.32. So I'm kind of going to come in here and cheat to set these things up already. So, or 392, I guess, is what we want. So 0.392. Just going to copy paste that across the board. Okay. And with that, let's go ahead and open up custom game map. And we're going to do private image. Oh, and wow, really? My custom game map wasn't using any UI stuff? Huh. Well, now it is, using Unity engine.ui. And we're actually going to move that above event systems. I like to try and take a stepping approach, so everything sort of splays out in segments. Don't know why. There's no real reason for it other than it looks better to me. We're going to say cached image. All right, we're going to come up here. We're going to say public image, cached image, get, return, cached, not cached canvas, cached image, question mark, cached image, colon, cached image is equal to get component image. Okay, so we're caching all of that fun stuff. Let's see here, cached canvas, blah, 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 blah. All right. And once that's done, let's see, we're going to go to custom game options view. On close, I believe we call refresh. Yep, refresh map. We're going to go to definition here. And we will say generate nodes, game text. We'll go ahead and say game map dot cached image dot color is equal to custom game settings dot map color. All right. Ta-da! Well, not quite ta-da yet, but we'll get there in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep that up. And we're going to minimize this. I guess I haven't really made any changes, so I don't need to apply changes here. Well, I did make that an actual color that I wanted to use. So we're going to hit apply. Delete you, turn you off, hit save, and now everything should work. So let's give it a shot. And then after that, it's probably a pretty good place to stop for the day. So I'm going to say start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Okay. This is interesting. So something about my loading is just super bonkers. Because you can see on the den that it's kind of offset to the left for both of them, which is really weird. Well, in any case, let's go to options. Let's change our map background to like a red. Confirm, save. Oh, wow. Look at that beautiful, beautiful palette. God. That's terrible. Yeah, let's bring you back down to 100. Confirm. And yeah, that's probably a pretty good. That's probably a pretty good place to stop for the night, or for the evening, I guess. I will try. Go ahead and hit confirm, then cancel. Okay, making sure that all that still works. I wonder what it would look like if I had 100 alpha. Confirm, save. Not really that different. Can I make it 0? Whoa! Now that that is a screenshot. Okay. Okay, this is wow, it did not like that. That was okay. I don't know what happened there, but it was amazing. That's really weird. I wonder why it did that. You wouldn't think that having a background with 0 alpha would cause problems, but oh, maybe it's because it's invisible and it's probably using my UI camera, which doesn't clear anything but depth. So any color that's left over would just be there. Oh, that's kind of funny. Ha! Okay. So yeah. That's a pretty interesting place to stop, I think, for the night. Let's go ahead and we're gonna get some screenshots. Get that all set up, and then let's change our background color to be like a semi-dark blue. Like that, maybe. Confirm. Oh wow, that is still really, really, really terrible. There we go. Let's go ahead and get a picture of that up here. All right, so that is, I think, a pretty good place to stop for the night. We got colors working for all of our backgrounds, and well, for our map background and our default connection color, which I will now set back to white because I do not want it to be pink. Let's save. And we fixed a couple of loading issues and minor optimization problems that we had. So next Saturday, I will not be streaming, obviously. So any announcements? Yeah. So again, a refresher. I'm not going to be streaming next Saturday because I'll be in St. Louis, going to Pixel Pop Festival. So I'll probably be tweeting from over there and let everyone know that I'm alive but not streaming. And yeah, I'm not sure what we'll be doing the next Saturday Devstream. So that would be 2 weeks from now. It will probably be something related to end rooms, I'm guessing. Excuse me. So getting end rooms to actually function. because they're not really a thing right now. They're a concept in my head. An end room, which is like a starting room, it's just when you get to it, the game ends. So for now, we're just gonna leave that as is. But that's something that that's probably the next thing I'm gonna do. So yeah, that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.